I'm going to say some things that may make a couple people angry. At this point, I genuinely don't care. Watch this video. I'm going to show y'all a bunch of comments, and then we're going to have a conversation.
So many people are talking shit and saying terrible things about the dad that jumped overboard after his daughter went off the side of the cruise ship. And here's the deal. Even if he put her up there to take a selfie, that's what the rumors are right now, that man jumped in without hesitation. The fact that the boat is going this way, the wake is behind it, the open waves of the sea, and this little girl fell off, she was probably panicking. Like, even if she was an independent swimmer in a pool in the open ocean after falling, like, I don't know that you and I would be able to stay afloat. He jumped so fast that he was able to locate her. Like, professional divers are coming out and saying, like, this is nothing short of a freaking miracle, but also his timing and his jumping in without hesitating saved her life. He gets to her, and then he's able to keep himself and her above water for 20 plus minutes treading water. The fact that the Disney crew was able to respond as quickly as they did and get them out. I also read that only 10% of people who go overboard actually survive. This is a miraculous story. And so two things can be true at once. He made a terrible, stupid decision, an awful mistake that he will never forgive himself for. Would I do it? Hell no. Would my husband do it? No. And if he did, would I kick his ass? Absolutely. But can we focus on the fact that this little girl's alive because her dad is a hero and he saved her life?
So that clip provided all of the context that I will be discussing in another way in this video. And I want to show some of the comments, not just under that video, but also under another creator's video who I'm very good friends with, Melanie Hamlet. If you're not following her, definitely give her a follow. But I want to talk about some of the reoccurring comments that have come up in that video that we just saw and that people are reiterating because it's absolutely ridiculous. And I want to talk about this from another angle. So first is this comment right up here under Melanie's video also discussing this. And I just want to focus on this top comment. We don't need to pass judgment, Mel. You think he doesn't already hate himself enough? Melanie responds, we absolutely need to pass judgment. The mom will be blamed and judged no matter what. It's time to judge dads for constantly being the ones who endanger their kids and traumatize the public. Yes. Now let's look at some of the comments that are under here. And these are a lot of, I just scrolled and took pictures. So a lot of these are back to back. It can be his fault, but he remained accountable and saved her. I'm sure he's beating himself up more than the public ever could. Go, Dad. Former Navy here, that save was 1 in a million. Dad is a hero. End of story. My friend who was in the Navy said the exact same thing. Two things can be true. Well said. Sure. Allegedly. He put his daughter in a space. Mind you, this is, I'm just continuing with the voice. Nobody actually said this, but this is the vibe. Listen, sure, allegedly. He put his daughter in a position where she could be swept away at sea and die a truly tragic and traumatizing death to her and everybody that's on that ship watching that daughter disappear. But you know what? Two things can be true at once. He's a great dad. A hero even. Okay, let's round up these comments. So unrelated, but that kid's gonna have such a good 2 truths and a lie. Now, it's very related. Let's also continue here. He saved her. Lots of parents make mistakes. Some of those end much more tragically. He made a mistake, but he handled it well. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist. I talk a lot about decentering men and child-free living on this platform. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, subscribe. If you think you're subscribed, double check. People have been getting removed from from my community. I'm not. Things are happening, just double check. If you want to learn how you could start your freelance writing journey so that way you can, share your thoughts with the greater public or get free things because that's also a pretty great perk. Go to my description. A whole bunch of information is on there, including a course where I break down how you could do what I do. And if you want more conversations at this level, head over to my Patreon. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss about this, right? So how do I want to start? I want to start small and then I want to get big. And by small, I mean, I want to start with how this affects people on the everyday, and then I want to get big with how this shows up in society. And starting off small, there's 2 points. The first point that I want to make, Mel touched on. How does this show up as it relates to mothers? Mothers are not given nearly the amount of grace that dads are given at any point in their parenthood journey. From the moment that the kid or the fetus is being constructed all the way up until death and people are like, oh, she was the worst mom, or oh, her kid showed up this way, it's probably because of the mom, and da da da. The way that mothers, for the entirety of their motherhood journey, are given so much less grace than a dad who potentially put his daughter in a position to fall off a cruise ship. Being called a hero for dealing with the consequences of your actions is insane. Yeah, it's great that he was able to move quickly and save his daughter and tread water for, I think it was like 20 minutes. So that way people can come, professionals can come and say, yeah, that's all great. But guess what? All of that couldn't have been avoided. All of that could have been avoided. Literally just the consequences of his actions. I don't know what we're celebrating here, because at the end of the day, that kid is still traumatized. That kid is still traumatized. And because of what allegedly, it's dad's fault. I'm not showing the pictures of the kid or the dad because this is so much greater than just this story. Which then brings me to point number 2. This shows up in our intimate relationships. And I'm not just talking about romantic. I'm talking about our intimate relationships with men. This shows up romantically. This shows up familially. This shows up in the workplace. Whenever we are in intimate spaces with men, this kind of dynamic shows up. And it's even more problematic when it shows up with kids, because what this kind of discourse is saying, calling him a hero, saying, oh, wow, we need to be lighter on him. He did such a good job. At the end of the day, he's just a dad. What this is doing, okay, let me reword this. This young girl, you know what? Let me get these thoughts in order. We are telling young girls and young women that it is okay to be put in situations, dangerous situations, by men that we are supposed to trust in our lives. Those situations go upside down in ways that everybody else, any functioning human being would know this is a dangerous situation. It is okay to be put in danger, actively in danger, because somebody put you in danger, but because now you are not less traumatized, not because you're still alive, fully traumatized, but they quote unquote fixed it, the man needs to be celebrated. Let's put this in another way. So you and a man are in a car. He is speeding. You say, I don't like this. He says, no, but it's fun to go vroom, vroom. He gets into a car accident. You both go flying out the window. You break so many bones and you're hanging upside down from a tree, right? He also broke a whole bunch of bones. But you know what he does do? He walks out of the wreckage and he finds you. And then he helps you to hobble your broken body over to the side of the road. And then you wave down a car or an ambulance for help. And then everybody says, wow, he's such a hero. He put you in that position. And now you have to go in the hospital for who knows how long. That's another way of framing this. The woman in that story is this child. And now let's take it even more macro. Remember the tariff situation? Where the orange demon was talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna raise the tariffs and da 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 da. And then everything is still pretty expensive in the US, but like things were obscenely expensive. And everybody's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Our businesses are closing and everything is terrible. And then the orange demon said, okay, we're gonna lower the tariffs. But he didn't lower them back to where they were. It's still like, he raised them, like this is where it was, and then he raised them, and now they're like right up to here. And everybody's so grateful that it's not up to here, but it's still not where it was. And everybody's like, wow, he did such a good job. This is the exact same situation. And we were getting used to it on a personal level, and now we're getting used to it at a political and social level in the United States. Men are consistently, not all men, consistently making poor life decisions that affect all of us, because it's not just the daughter that's traumatized, it is every person on that cruise ship. Poor life decisions that affect all of us, traumatize all of us, and for some reason people keep getting online and celebrating them for their mediocre reactions. But hey, that's just me. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Please tippity type them in the comments section. For the love of God, stay safe out there.